welcome to episode 2 of the Indie Edit podcast. Today I'm joined by Patrick, or otherwise known as Melania Guitar on socials. Thank you for joining me.
No worries, thank you for inviting me. It's the first time I've done something like this, can't wait.
It's going to be huge. I'm going to start off with sort of algorithms of indie rock. So obviously, currently in indie rock, it's not really mainstream. Artists are sort of struggling to get that coverage on radio or on big playlists. Compare that to back in the day, maybe during the 80s and 90s when indie rock was a big scene. What's your thoughts on indie rock at the minute and the struggle of bands?
It's difficult. I feel like it's nice to have like a category of music that's not as mainstream as pop. Like you feel like you've sort of discovered stuff that maybe most people haven't. But it's weird. I feel like that sort of stuff does deserve to be in that category more than maybe some sort of pop music, because I feel like the difference isn't huge sometimes. Like it sounds stupid, but listening to Olivia Rodrigo, I feel like there's so much guitar stuff in like her songs, but that gets classed as pop, and other stuff doesn't. It would be. I think it would be nice if these bands would also get the same amount of attention, because they definitely deserve it. They definitely do deserve it.
100%. And I mean, you look at bands sort of back in the day, it was more heavier. The sound is more sort of unique. Whereas now there's so many indie bands out there with different sounds. I mean, I'm talking about there's someone called Megan Wynn who's a Welsh artist, and she just sounds like a pop star, but she's classed as indie rock, and she just doesn't get the coverage she deserves
Yeah,
because people sort of write her off straight away because she's classed as indie rock.
yeah, for sure. It is weird how it's changed, like, because in the past you'd have like Nirvana would be on Top of the Pops or something like that, and even Nirvana seems like well past indie, or definitely very very much past pop. It's weird how it's changed where stuff like that doesn't get featured as much anymore.
And then you look at the sort of 2000s, you had Arctic Monkeys, Cortinas. Going into the 2010s, you had sort of Two Door
Yeah,
Cinema Club. And Two Door can definitely be classed as sort of poppy and mainstream because some of their tunes, I mean, What You Know is known worldwide. But it's good that that's sort of classed as indie rock still,
yeah,
and indie fans can still sort of relate to that. And
yeah.
then talking about
Agreed.
sort of mainstream now, the only real band, sort of indie rock band that I can think that has made it is sort of Fontaines DC. I mean, they're on the radio all the time. They're in the charts all the time. One the Horse have sort of made it as well. Keo might make it in the future. I hope they do. But other than Fontaines, I can't really think of one band that has properly made it recently.
No, neither. I definitely agree with that one. Uh, Made it. Do you mean made it as in? What do you mean by made it?
I mean, like they're on the radio constantly. They're sort of in the charts constantly.
Yeah, I can't think. I agree. I can't think of any bands. The only person that I could think of is like Sam Fender. I always used to hear Sam Fender on the radio, and I just assumed that he was. I just assumed that everything that he put out was pop music or something, because I didn't really understand as much. But then like now, I feel like he just isn't really that. It's just because he's a solo artist that he was probably being played as much as he was. But I feel like I don't hear it as much anymore.
And Sam Fender's got such a huge fan base as well, having like, the whole of Newcastle behind him pretty much. But also, one thing that's good for indie rock is sort of the support acts for acts like Sam Fender and Fontaines DC. So Wonder Horse obviously supported Sam Fender. Fontaines DC had sort of Bean Stella support them, acts like that, Cardinals as well. And that's sort of given them the sort of level to move on and get into the mainstream music.
Yeah, I'll never understand when like I've seen gigs where people don't put on support acts. I think that is like higher up, like people who are a lot bigger. But I'll never understand that, because I feel like it's like a service that you owe like other bands to do. Because if you've gotten bigger from supporting people, I think you should definitely be paying it back.
Exactly that. And to be fair, the one act that I can think of when I think of no support acts, Radiohead, they're one of the biggest bands ever. It's such a good opportunity to sort of help out a smaller band and get them to that level and have them play in front of a massive crowd, but they just didn't have a support act. It was all about them that sort of night.
Yeah, I don't like necessarily agree. I don't agree with that. I think they definitely, even if they were gonna just put on one band that like even they hadn't heard of or nobody had heard of, just because they just have the opportunity to do it, I think that they definitely should have done.
And we're going to move on to sort of back in the time now, Manchester and Merseybeat sort of era. So when we're talking about Manchester, we're talking about bands such as Stone Roses, Happy Mondays, The Charlatans, In Spiral Carpets, James. Talk about the Hacienda, the sort of venue. Are you sort of glued up on the Manchester sort of scene?
Well, sort of. I would say the most that I've learned about it is through the Oasis documentary. Uh, but other than that, not too much.
And then we're going to compare it to Merseybeat. So again, Merseybeat, we're talking about Beatles, obviously the biggest band ever, probably. Jerry and the Pacemakers, the Searchers, the Merseybeats, and the Cabin Club as a venue. Again, what sort of or era, if you had to compare the two? So Stone Roses against Beatles, and then the other guys as well. What era would you choose to be in?
I think I would have to pick Manchester in the 90s for sure.
Exactly that. Exactly that. I'm the exact same. I think the sort of characteristics they had, the attitudes they had, and I mean Oasis, like they're such a big sort of influence in so many people's lives, and I just think they're absolutely unbelievable. Did you go see Oasis?
No, it's a very sensitive topic. I can't. I that's the one gig that I just can't believe that I missed out on because I don't know if they will come back and tour again, but even then, I don't know if I'm going to get a ticket for that. I had such FOMO looking at the videos of everyone posting there. Did you go?
No.
At least if you said yeah, that would have been also very upsetting. So I'm glad you said no.
When I spoke to the Dennerbys on the last episode, they were talking about it and how they went and how good it was, and I was just sat here, sort of just taking it all in, just pretty much crying on the inside, absolutely rubbing it in.
Oh, that's horrible.
Um, We're going to talk about a band on the rise now, Overpass. They released their new album very recently, Elsewhere Always. It released on June the 5th. Have you listened to it?
Yeah, very very good. I really like it.
And have you seen Overpass live?
Yeah, I think they might be the band that I've seen the most live. Um, I saw them a few times last year. They headlined Gorilla, and they did like an intimate EP release in the Jacaranda. I think that might have been the first two times that I saw them.
Brilliant. I've not seen them yet, but by the time this episode comes out, I would have, because I'm seeing them tomorrow in London. They're doing a sort of like album release again. And what's your favourite song on this new album? Because I think all of the songs are brilliant, and some of the slower songs are so good. Then you've got the big hits like Union Station, which are just absolutely bangers.
I think I would say that the the best on the entire album would probably be Heaven for me. But out of the ones that got released, like non singles, I would maybe say Spinning or Bonnie and Clyde Part Two is definitely up there as well.
Do you think this album has a chance to be album of the year this year?
I I do think it'll be up there, but I think when the Kyo album comes out, there'll be nothing that tops it, in my opinion, for the year anyway. But it definitely is up there for the conversation.
Yeah, we'll hold that Kyo chat just until the next topic because that is the next topic. I mean, they're such a massive band, and I know you absolutely adore them. What do you think the potential of Overpass are? I mean, they supported Royston Club, which would have helped them so much, but I think they can just get to the next level.
I I'm interested to see where they go after this album because obviously they've had such a good reaction to it. Like all I hear after, like all I've heard this week is people talking about Overpass. So I do think that now they are going to go to the next level. I'm just interested to see how high they go.
Brilliant. We'll talk about your absolute favourites now, Keo. We're going to start off with That's Me. Obviously, it came out recently, May 28th, and it is one of the best singles I've heard for a long time. I mean, I've heard it live, obviously, they play it live before they released it, and it just goes off every time. Everyone somehow knows the lyrics. What's your thoughts on that tune?
I think it's so good. I love I just love the way that they've released, and even though they took ages, I like that because every single person, as soon as the song came out, like you said, knew every single word to it, just for them playing it live, and that's like the biggest thing about Kyo that I like, and it's nice to be able to hear it on Spotify and not just have to see it live.
Do you think that's what bands will start to do? Maybe sort of play the songs live or release it on SoundCloud so fans get a sort of teaser and then release it on Spotify when they know it's going to be a sort of big hitter?
I definitely think that people are going to take inspiration from that because I I don't know specifically. I'm just guessing here, but like this is the only band that I've seen where people have actually gone onto SoundCloud to listen to all of the songs and download them all for local files for Spotify. So that they know all of the words to it. So I do think that there will be people that take inspiration from it.
100%. And obviously, they released their new album this September. How big will that album be? And you said it'll be album of the year probably. Will there be any stopping Keo?
I think that as soon as that album comes out, they're just gonna go like. I think they're just gonna skyrocket it. I think the only thing that's been everybody knows that that's what's going to happen. I think, but I think the only thing that's been holding them back from it is just releasing. And I like that they've not just rushed into putting the album out because they know that it's going to make them big. Like I think surely they know that they're going to be huge and they're just taking the time on it and doing it the right way.
I mean, they do come across very humble guys. I mean, last year in December, I think it was, they played the Joiners in Southampton, which is a 200 crowd venue, and it sold out instantly. They had to add another night, and I mean, they know that they can sell out bigger arenas, and they're doing it now. They're doing guild halls, they're doing much bigger stages in their tour at the end of the year. Are you going to any of those dates?
Yeah, I'm going to the Liverpool one at O2 Academy.
Brilliant. Yes, I mean, I just can't believe that they're sort of still doing those small gigs and those sort of intimate shows. I mean, the one at the record shop, was it the other day, or the pub in London where he was playing outside the window and stuff?
Elephant's
It's just
Head.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is mental. Like that, I do like that as well because I feel like they are again they could go out and sell out. I don't know what size of venue, but they could sell out a huge venue, on like one huge headline show or something like that. But they're not. They're doing stuff where it's small, it's more intimate, but it sells out immediately. Like it's a good progressive thing that they've got. When I feel like they probably could just leap up to a different thing, but it's nice to see that they are going through the steps of it.
I mean, Royston Club and the K's do that as well. I mean, I've seen the K's in very small venues, and Royston Club, they play sort of smaller venues. They can both probably, I mean, the K's have sold out 10,000 crowd this summer. Royston Club could do the same
Yeah.
easily. But it's just great to see sort of bands staying humble and sort of building their fan base up from the bottom, really. Do you think Keo are the sort of next band to sort of go mainstream and, sort of maybe challenge Fontaines and Wonderhorse?
I would hope so. I don't. It depends what do you class as mainstream for it.
I mean, Fontaines are sort of, they're known worldwide. The albums sort of like Romance, you see that album everywhere. Same as Skinty Fear now. The
Yeah,
sort of album cover, it's sort of like Ox Monkeys when they released AM. That album logo was out everywhere around the world and sort of put them on the map.
I actually don't even know. I do think that I was saying this after the last tour that they did. I do think that they'll be the next band where everybody's trying to be like them. I do see it a tiny bit now where people are not trying to copy them, but you can tell that they're definitely taking inspiration from them. I do think they are going to be like the band where that sound is like replicated more often, and definitely the genre of music, the genre of indie turns into more of that. Maybe not specifically because of them, but as a result of them. But I could never like imagine them being mainstream Fontaines level. Not that they wouldn't get that big, but I don't know. I wonder if that would be something that they'd want.
I think it's just a difference in sound, I guess. Fontaines are sort of, they've got their calmer songs, but they've got their hard hitters as well. Whereas Keo is mostly just hard hitters, other than maybe Sirens and stuff. But they're also so like
Yeah,
grungy and stuff. And Fontaines is maybe more indie and maybe could be classed as pop. Some of it.
yeah. I suppose they probably will end up changing the sound some point in the future because like everyone does it. I mean, if you said when Fontaines put out Doggerel that they would be putting out an album like Romance, you probably wouldn't believe it. So, I think they do have the potential to be that big. It just depends on if audiences are like ready for that by the time that they are big enough. If you get me.
Brilliant. And we're going to talk about the sort of next breakthrough artists and artists that are coming up. So I asked you to do a bit of homework for me, thinking of two artists or however many artists you want that could sort of break through coming up. So bands such as the K's, Royston Club, Wonder Horse, Keo, they're sort of breaking through, and some of them have broken through. Who's next? What bands can you sort of say that will be the next sort of up and coming?
I think I nailed on one. Is definitely Arcale is definitely nailed on for me. I think they're like guarantees now to be going into that category.
Anyone
But for
else?
a couple of like couple of maybe small ones, Cherryol and the North, definitely those two.
The North are so good. I mean, Soundtrack of Soul is literally it's been on repeat for absolutely ages now. I can't get enough of that song. And then Cherry Holt, some of their songs are just so catchy.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like, I've seen them live a few times, and Irresistible was such a good song, but they got like such more complex songs than that. Like they are just whatever they release next is going to be so good.
I mean, they're playing a show with the Wombats and I think Bastille this summer in London. And I mean, just having those sort of shows to sort of get inspiration of little songs by Wombats and Bastille and doing that already, supporting those acts already when they've just started pretty much is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, and it is really deserved for them.
And my bands I'm going to sort of suggest M60. Have you listened to them at all?
I think they had a song on FIFA. I'm not too sure. Do they have a song called "I Don't Mind"?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's an absolute tune. I think I've seen them quite a few times, and I've got to know them quite well, and sort of interviewed them, seen them at festivals, and like got pictures and stuff. I think they're brilliant, and their sort of sound is
That's
quite
great.
unique as well. It's quite sort of old school Manchester as well, some of it. And then one of their best friends in a band is Pentire. They're another sort of small indie sort of poppy band. I don't know if you've listened to them at all.
Yeah, so I saw them support the Rolling People on Friday, but I've listened to a couple of them. Spinning is a really really good song.
It goes off live every time, that one, and I mean they're legends as well. They gave me guest list at one of their shows in London. They just messaged me saying, "Do you want to come down?" I was like, "Yeah, obviously." Why would I say no? Um, Spa- and
Yeah.
then my last sort of act is Spangled. So they're another Manchester-based band. I think they're partnered up with This Feeling, who are just incredible. They do so much for indie bands. But again, they've got some sort of hard hitters, but also some like sort of softer songs. I think all three of those bands could go far, but I mean, I can't take away your answers as well. Like Cherry Heart will be absolutely huge, I think.
I definitely agree with your ones though. I M60 and Pentire for sure. I've and then Spangled I have seen before. I definitely agree with that.
Brilliant. And we're going to go on to some more homework that I got you to do. Forgotten Bangers. So I've got two songs myself here, ready to sort of bring back to life. What songs have you got first, or should we do one and one?
Let's do one and one.
Right. Do you want to go first?
So yeah, go on then. I've got If You Ever Leave, I'm Coming With You by the Wombats.
Absolute tune. Oh my god.
Like, it just came on my Spotify recommended in 2021, and I never ever listened to new music then. Bear in mind, like I just spam listened to Wallers like non-stop, and that came on, and like I didn't realize how big the Wombats were. I thought I'd found some hidden gem, but maybe not as much as I thought I had done.
My first one is America by Razorlight. I mean, Razorlight are sort of making quite a big return at the minute. They're supporting Kasabian in the summer in front of a sold out, I think, 45k at Finsbury Park. They played Neighbourhood Weekender and they got a massive crowd for that. But it's off of their self titled album, which is, I think, so underrated. And I think it's such a good song. And yeah, it sort of brought me back to like sort of sick form sort of time when I listened to it at first.
I'll have to listen to that. I have heard of Razor. What did you say, Razorlight?
Yeah,
I'll have to listen to that.
it's an absolute tune. Right, do you want to go for your next one?
My next one, it's actually not that old of a song, but it's Ticket to Ride by Koala to
The tune.
FIFA skiing.
What a tune.
Honestly, I wish FIFA would, well, I don't play it anymore, but I wish they would have brought back like the indie soundtracks that they used to have were just unreal. But it did sort of lose it a little bit towards the end.
What was it, FIFA 14, I think? And I had that on repeat and I still listen to it now. It's on my playlists. And yeah, like you said, FIFA was such a good like way to sort of listen to new music. Catfish were on there as well. And then I remember listening to Heat Waves back in lockdown for the first ever time before that blew up
Yeah,
because of FIFA. And I'm pretty sure Alex Spencer's been on FIFA as well recently.
yeah.
There's been quite a few indie bands that sort of used FIFA as a sort of platform to then grow bigger.
Alex Spencer's Nightmares on FIFA is like such a FIFA song as well. That's like such a perfect example of what the soundtrack should be.
Exactly that. And my final song is Chasing Rainbows by Shed 7. So they're another sort of old school band. They're formed in 1990. And again, they're sort of coming back into the scene. They're touring, and it's just great to see. I mean, you've not heard of them for ages. Shed 7, really. They've not really. They released a new album, obviously, but other than that, they've been quite quiet. And it's just good to hear their name sort of
Yeah,
in conversations again.
that's such a good song. I'm not entirely sure on this. I think was it. It might have been on the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 soundtrack, but I might be thinking of a different song. But
That
if
is
it
such
is,
a
then
good
then
film.
it's a banger.
Guardians of the Galaxy is my all-time
Yeah,
like
honestly.
favorite films.
Oh no way! They're definitely up there for me. That's some balance.
We're going to talk about next sort of our favourite gigs that we've been to. I've got three on my list here of my favourite gigs. So, I mean, do you know them straight away or do you need a bit of time to sort of prepare?
No, I think I've got mine.
Okay, right. So I'll start off with my first one. I'm going to go with Wonder Horse at Ali Pali. It was such a good show. A sold out 10,000 crowd, and the noise in Ali Pali. That was the first time I've ever been there inside. I saw Noel Gallagher, High Flying Birds. I saw them outside, but inside, the echo of like Purple when it went off in Arizona, it's just so good. And everyone was bouncing, and he sounded brilliant. And I really thought there was a live album coming, but they've not released anything because they've gone so quiet on everyone since The Rope, and I'm fuming.
Yeah.
But it was such a good night.
Where did you see Noel Gallagher's High Flying Bird?
It was outside Alexandra Palace in the park.
Oh, okay, okay. I was gonna say because number 3 on my list is Noel Gallagher's High Flying Bird at Robin Park.
Oh no way.
That's the first gig that I ever went to. It's actually not that long ago. 2024 was the first gig that I ever went to. So my list is pretty recent, but just with it being my first one and it being Noel Gallagher, I always forget to mention it, but it's like probably the best I've ever felt at a gig.
And I mean, the having like Oasis songs as well playing. I mean, I love the High Flying Birds. Pretty Boy is probably one of my favourite songs ever. But having sort of the
Yeah, it's a good.
Marzipan played and Don't Look Back in Anger, it makes you feel something completely different and sort of it made me feel like Oasis are back. And then the summer, like in that summer, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure they did announce that they were coming back, and I literally got all giddy. It's crazy.
yeah, it is mental.
And then my second one is the K's at 1865. This was my second time seeing the K's, I think it was. The first time I went alone because I was during my university exam, I think, so no one could come with me. Everyone was busy, everyone had work and stuff, so I went up on my own. But in Southampton, I saw them 1865 and I got to meet them. My friend got the set list and he gave it to me, so we got it signed and stuff. And I mean,
Oh,
they are probably my all-time favourites at the minute just because I've been there since the start with them, sort of thing. I've seen them grow into where they are now. But I still think they're brilliant. Them and Royston Club are just so good, and I love how they're sort of moving up hand in hand. So they're both sort of headlining the festival or headlining the
yeah.
stage, and it's just so good. It's like a sort of brotherly relationship.
Which album do you prefer out of the K's albums?
Ooh, the debut was so good, but I to be honest, I really love Pretty on the Internet. I don't think it gets the sort of hype it deserves because I mean, no one really gave it a chance. Everyone listened to Gravestone and maybe the Bends. But I mean, Helen OI is such an anthem for me. I think it's so good. But there's smaller songs like Running Away Now, which I think are just so good to listen to. And they're sort of different levels of music. So I wonder if the world knows it's all more of upbeat and rocky and stuff. Whereas I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like Pretty on the Internet is just so chill to listen to. I mean, I listen to it when I'm studying and stuff, or when I'm like typing and writing an article. Just it's so like calm to listen to some of it. And then sort of Gravestone or the Bends come on, and I'm sort of bouncing around.
That's funny.
What do you prefer?
Uh, I think I'd have to go with the first one. Where I live in my town, 'cause I live like 5 minutes from where the K's are from. We have like a mural of the first album. It's mental. But I didn't listen to him when that first came out. So it's weird going into my town now and seeing it now that I like the album.
It's so good. I mean, that mural looks so good. I need to go and see it because, like, them being my favorite band, it's just I need to go see it. But I mean, it's just so good that they've sort of got that to sort of show the world, and it shows how far they've sort of come since the start. Having a mural in your hometown, pretty much, is just so cool.
Yeah. That'll be a quick trip for you coming to St Helens because that mural is it's the only nice thing that's in there.
It's miles away from me. It's like I'm like in between Brighton and London down south, so it's a bit of a
Oh,
trek away. I was going to come up to Castlefield Bowl to see the K's in their headline show, but the day after is Kasabian at Finsbury Park, which I've got tickets to, so I can't
ah,
sort of do both.
yeah.
Do you have a second favourite gig?
Second, Inhaler at Apollo. Oh, wait, actually, Inhaler at O2 Apollo last year.
Inhaler, are
Uh,
sort of they're one that I've not really fully listened to yet. I've listened to what have I listened to? Oh, what songs have I listened to now? On His Face, I think. Obviously, it's a big song that
yeah,
everyone
it is a
knows.
really good song.
And I've listened to like a few others, but I'm not really sort of dived deep into their sort of discography yet. But what can you recommend from Inhaler?
Uh, if you listen to just the song, it won't always be like this. I think that you would definitely get into them because I do think that's like I did a video the other day like my top 5 favorite songs, and that could easily be like top 2 because I think it's so generational. The crowd was actually like it's weird because it probably shouldn't be like this at an Inhaler gig, but the crowd was like one of the craziest things that I've been in. We were quite far back, and because everyone was like jumping around and moshing or whatever, we managed to get barricade like for the last 5 songs, and being so close to him when we didn't think we were going to be like that, and being there for some of the songs, it was like just it. I remember leaving and just being like, I don't think I'm ever gonna have a gig that good again. Which is stupid because it was like the fifth gig that I'd been to, but that's just what I was feeling. I didn't meet them. I would love to meet them, but I think I'd be too starstruck. I don't even know. I don't know what I'd say to them.
What's your thoughts on sort of moshing at gigs? We'll leave the last favourite gig just for a second. What's your thoughts on it? Because it gets a lot of hate, but personally, I don't mind it at all. I think if there's an upbeat song, like go ahead, make it like go mental if you want to. It looks good on videos as well. The bands love it as well. Seeing
Yeah,
their crowds like jumping about. I think it's no harm at all.
I also agree. I, I posted a video a while back about the Royston Club and the mosh in there, and I was like, people sort of misinterpreted my point. I was saying that like I don't mind moshing because you can tell that everyone's having fun, and obviously the bands usually do want that to happen. Um, but if you do it too much, like if you're doing it for every chorus for a song, then it sort of takes away from the value of it. But anyone that like anyone that takes the piss out of it and like posts it and is like slating the people doing it, then that's where the issue is. Because like I think that's a bit gimpy posting other people and saying like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And then you get posted on indie gimps and go everywhere, and
Yeah,
it all starts from there.
that I don't know. I got posted on indie games the other day. I don't know.
I saw that. Yeah, it's
I
so
thought
funny.
I was actually I was just scrolling. I was just sitting here scrolling. I get mentioned in the comments saying, I swear that's me," and I click on it. I was like, "That's actually a photo of me just at the Royston Club this year. What's going like what?"
The thing with moshing, I think, is when I mean it happened with One the Horse quite a bit. People moshing to sort of July and Purple and stuff. Which I mean, July is quite an upbeat song, but things like Purple, moshing to it, and Arizona as well. It's just that's when I think it sort of crosses the level to gimpy.
No, I agree with that one. Like, when people were taking, when people were saying about people moshing at Charlemagne at Neighbourhood, that's stupid because it's an upbeat song. It's the biggest part of the set. The band want them to do it. But then, like, if they were doing it for there's a reason why, then like, then that's where you can say something, because that's just not the vibe, is it?
No, exactly that. I'm fully with you there. We'll go back to our favourite gig. So my last favourite gig, I've put Fontaine's DC at Finsbury Park. I mean, it was a sort of all-day festival. The lineup was so good. You had Cardinals there, Bean Stella, who have become one of my absolute favourites at the minute. Ammo and the Sniffers as well. They were there. I think the lineup sort of made it, and the crowd made it what it was. And then the set list when they came on, hearing Liberty Bell live and things, which is so surreal. And like Romance as well is one of my favourite songs. Then playing that into Jackie down the line, it's just such a good sort of
Yeah.
feeling. And it was summer, everyone was so happy, the crowd is so up for it. And I mean, 45,000 people being there to watch Fontaine's DC, it's just so cool, I think.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like, I would never have expected them to go as big as they were, as big as they are.
I think Romance sort of took them to the next level. I mean, that album was everywhere when it first came out, and then since then, I think the other albums have sort of got more hype. Skin to Fear is now huge. It's everyone classes it as sort of a winter album because you see it all over TikTok saying
Yeah.
me during every winter or autumn, and it's just like a cover of it. And Doggerel as well is getting a lot of hype at the minute. And I mean, they've not got a bad album, I don't think.
No, I agree with that. What is your favourite Fontaines album?
Um, it's either Doggerel or Skinty Fear. Probably Skinty Fear, I think.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too.
What's your last favourite gig?
My favourite gig that I've ever been to was Wallows at O2 Academy Brixton last year, because the first time that I'd ever gone to London for a gig. So we got the coach down, stayed over and stuff like that. So that also added to it. But the Wallows are like by far my favourite band of all time. I've got them tattooed on me. And they played this song. It's my favourite song by them. It's most people's favourite song by them. It's the last song on one of their albums that they never ever play. And they played it as the second to last song because uh they're going on a hiatus, or like, however you pronounce it, where they weren't going to be. We didn't know how long they were going to be gone for. They're still not back, but like hearing that and knowing it'd be like the last time that I see them for however long, it just like easily the best thing that I've ever seen at a gig. Definitely the best gig memory I've got. So it easily puts it at number one for me.
I mean, Wallows, I've sort of listened to a few of their songs. Remember When is one of my favourite songs by them. That was the first ever song I listened to by them. And I've sort of tried to get into them a bit more as well. They've done a song with, is it Clyro as well, which is quite a big hitter of it. Is it Are You Bored Yet? That's another, obviously, massive
Yeah, that's
tune.
definitely the biggest one I've got.
But I think they're so good as well. I think it'd be good to see them come back. I was going to go to that gig as well, I'm pretty sure, but I think I had another gig on or uni work or something. So
Yeah, it was really good. Florence Road supported as well. I don't know if you've heard of Florence Road. It's an Irish band, but they were amazing too. That was just like a cherry on top beforehand.
So we're going to end it off with a little quiz now, just to sort of test your indie rock knowledge. I mean, I don't expect you to know all these answers because some of them are quite rogue, but we'll just see how you do. So starting off,
Okay.
you should get this one, I assume. Name the debut album by Arctic Monkeys.
Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not.
Brilliant. Name the lead singer of Cortinas.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm off. I'm
I didn't
already
expect you
done
to know that
for.
one. Um, what year did Tourist History by Two Door Cinema Club come out?
Oh, the tour is like a something year tour, but I can't remember. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 2011.
2010.
No. What?
Um,
Oh, maybe it's not a 16-year tour.
yeah, I don't know what cause I've seen that one as well, but I don't know what it was. Name the latest Kooks album. It's not gone anywhere, so like it's
Oh,
quite it's not really took off. So
I could never class myself as an indie fan again. I have no idea. I have zero idea.
It's called Never Know. Name the 3 Catfish albums.
The Ride, the balcony. um,
You're looking at them right now.
I actually never post a video again. What? What? Sorry.
Were you looking at your albums right now? I thought you were looking at your records trying to find them.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is the person who's been giving people Caption About One updates as well.
So we have The Ride,
I'm
The
actually fumbling under the
Balcony.
press. I actually know this as well. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm just forgetting.
It begins with B.
B.
Heartbreak, absolute heartbreak. It's called The Balance.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten that though. I wouldn't have remembered that.
Um, so you spoke about guest lists that you interviewed them, so you might get this one. I'm not sure. What is the guest list album that is out this year called?
Something real.
Huge. Which Oasis song has the most streams?
Wonderwall.
Correct. Which album is Dakota by Stereophonics on?
I don't know. I don't know.
I wouldn't get that one. Don't worry. It's called Language, Sex, Violence,
Oh, okay,
Other.
good. Okay.
Again, this is a bit of a rogue one. Who did Kasabian partner with in their single "Great Pretender"?
Miles Kane.
Calvin Harris.
Not quite. Not
Close.
quite.
Name the newest DMA single.
Mate, I'm actually. This is really poor from me. This is really poor from me. I have no idea.
Hurricane.
Hurricane. Is that recent?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how recent, to be fair. It might have been a few months back or a month back. We won't end it on that quiz because
Yeah.
we'll try and get you back into sort of indie music. We're doing UK indie rock, sort of GOAT, so the best of the best. Obviously, the Wallows aren't in here, sadly. I know they're your favourite band, but I've gone for some sort of big names in here. So starting off, so Oasis or Blur?
Oasis.
Oasis or Stone Roses?
Oasis.
Oasis or Arctic Monkeys?
Oh. I think the Arctic Monkeys are better. I prefer. I'll go with Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Pulp?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Libertines?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Block Party?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Franz Ferdinand?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Happy Mondays?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or The Verve?
The Verve went to my college actually. Not at the same time as me, obviously, but Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or The Lars?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Cortinas?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Two Door Cinema Club?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or The Cure?
Arctic Monkeys.
The Cure are actually from my hometown. That's the only good thing that's come out of my hometown. Yeah.
And this podcast.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. Thank you. Arctic Monkeys or Radiohead?
That is a tough one. I think I'm more of an Arctic Monkeys fan. So yeah, Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Suede?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys or Fontaine's DC?
Fontaines.
Fontaines or Last Dinner Party?
Fontaines.
Fontaines or Kasabian?
Fontaines.
Fontaines or the Kooks?
Fontaines.
And lastly, Fontaines or Foals?
Fontaines.
Huge, absolutely huge. I don't know who I'd pick in that. Maybe Oasis or Arctic Monkeys. I thought Arctic Monkeys were going to run away with it.
Yeah. To be fair, Oasis. I do think I prefer Oasis, but I don't know. That is a really difficult one to pick. That.
Yeah, there's some huge bands in there. But yeah, we've got through all the topics that I've got. I mean, we've covered some brilliant stuff. We've covered Overpass, Keo, algorithms. We've covered next breakthrough artists. We've got some bangers. Your really good quiz answers. Just lastly, just before we end it, how do we find sort of, or how do we help people find their next favorite bands? I mean, is there any methods to find new songs that you sort of go about?
To be fair, the best thing that I can say about social media, even though I can't really shit talk it because it's sort of the only thing that I do, but the best thing about it is that most of the music that I find is through the like I've had a few videos recently where I've posted and people have put like TikTok music taste, which I would have never guessed people would say that for some of the stuff that we listen to, but it's so good for finding good bands. Like Overpass is all I see right now. I'm sure there's tons of people who started listening to Overpass because they've seen them on TikTok. That's probably the best way that I find new music. And then maybe I'll, like, if I hear a song that I like from an album that I like, or I hear a couple on that, and I buy the actual thing and I listen to it in whole, that's how I properly get into the band. But that's definitely the biggest way that I find new music online, through TikTok, really.
And obviously, we both do social media. Obviously, your account is quite bigger than mine, and it's doing really well at the minute. What else can we do to sort of help these sort of bands, up and coming bands, to sort of get into people's playlists and stuff?
So again, sorry.
What can we do to sort of help bands get into people's playlists and sort of expose their names a bit more?
If you like a band or you like a song and you like really do actually think that there's a good thing, definitely share it about, let people know. Like, if whenever I go on live, I play new music that I like, or I talk about new music. Like Overpass's album, if you like that, you gotta just tell people about it and spread the word, because that's the best thing that you can do for new artists and new bands. And if you really do feel that yourself, then it's like a perfect way for both people to get a good thing out of it, because you're posting something and it's something that you actually believe in.
Exactly that. And I think another sort of big part of it is going to gigs, and when you pay for that ticket, make sure you see all the acts that you pay for. I mean, going to see support acts is a way
Yes,
that I've found
that's
my new favourite bands. I mean, the first time I saw the K's, the Claws were there, and I've loved them ever since. Bean Stella, when they supported Fontaines, I've loved them ever since. So I mean, getting to see the support acts and getting there early and make sure you support everyone that's sort of at that gig, I think it's such a huge part nowadays.
yeah, that's the perfect answer. That, yeah, I agree.
It wasn't prepared at all, trust me. Well, thank you so much for that, Pat. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on here. And everyone, go and check out his
Yeah,
social media accounts, because he goes live and plays guitar very well. He talks brilliant music taste, and he's just such a good laugh. So make sure you go follow him on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Honestly, this has been great. I do really appreciate you asking me.
And if you've got any bands that you sort of suggest, let me know in the comments, or message me if you are a band and sort of want to come on here. My DMs are always open. I respond to pretty much every DM I get. So do leave me a sort of message and we'll try and get you on to the next episode. But for now, we'll see you soon.